Good morning, welcome to NMS. So a lot of people when they first start a diet, they think the first thing they're going to get rid of is sugar from their diet, which is not such a bad thing to get rid of a lot of those sort of empty calories from sugar drinks and from cakes and things like that. You know, all the things that have got a lot of calories. But I guess the real problem is, why do you actually eat that sort of food, okay, or drink those sorts of drinks? And a lot of the time it's because people are not organised with their meals, that they get hungry and then they're thinking, oh man, you know, I'm not really that hungry, but I might just have a little snack. And what that tends to lead to is overeating. And the reason that is because you imagine if you had a fire and you put wood on that fire, it's going to burn for a long time. But if you go and put paper on that fire, it burns through really quick. Now, when you have sugary drinks and things like that, that's like having paper, okay? That's like putting paper on a fire. It doesn't burn for long. And what you need to do is then go and throw more paper and more paper on that fire for it to continue to burn. Whereas if you put let's say a log on that fire, it's actually going to, burn for longer and it's going to keep retaining its heat. So the first thing that you probably need to do when you go and start your diet is probably make sure that you're having meals regularly throughout the day so that you don't get hungry for the sugary snacks that you tend to sort of crave for because you haven't eaten properly. So organise meals that have protein at each meal, that have a little bit of carbohydrates at each meal, and also have some fibre at each meal. These are the meals that are going to sustain you for the rest of the day, and these are the ones that are going to prevent you from craving those sugary snacks. Now it's going to take a little bit of planning. You're going to have to prepare your foods, and you're going to have to get up earlier and make your breakfast, and you're going to have your lunch ready for work and your dinner ready at night time. But at the end of the day, I can guarantee you this: if you eat lean meats, more vegetables, and carbohydrates that are actually more filling, you probably won't overeat on the sugar. In fact, you probably won't feel like it, and in which case you'll probably end up losing weight from the fact that you don't resort to the foods that then tend to make you more hungry for the same foods. And then you end up eating foods that are more for flavour and more for a quick fix than foods that are sustaining for the day. So let me know what you think about this, guys. I'm trying to give you a lot of ideas. Certainly when I've worked with people over the years, the ones that were able to lose weight and keep it off followed this sort of plan. And it doesn't have to be that you eat 5 times a day like bodybuilders do. You can eat 3 times a day. Just make sure that when you do eat, you're having foods that have a lot of volume and not a lot of calories. It's a pretty simple fix, guys, and look, it will last you a lifetime. And then what you can do after that is start walking more, maybe do some resistance training, but we'll get to that in further videos. Thanks for listening, guys, and comment below. Please subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be trying to put a lot more content to help you to lose weight and also to get into good shape. Thanks for listening.